שלום לאיציק, הגעת ראשון, כל הכבוד. עוד מעט נתחיל. איציק, אם אתה רק יכול לכתוב בצ'אט אם אתה שומע אותי, זה יהיה מצוין. שומע יוצא, נעים להכיר, אהלן איציק, תודה שהצטרפת. מאיפה נרשמת? מהדיוור, מלינקדאין, מפייסבוק? לינקדאין, יפה מאוד. עוד כ5 דקות אנחנו נתחיל. תודה רבה. שני מסרים. כן, אני פשוט נכנס לוובינר, אז אני אשלח אחר כך, סליחה. שלום לכל מה שהצטרף, אני אריה לוין, תודה רבה שהצטרפתם אלינו היום. אנחנו ממש הולכים להתחיל עוד כמה דקות, והולך להיות לנו יופי של הדרכה, אני מקווה שכולנו נצא לדרך ונלמד הרבה דברים. רק אתזכר את כולנו. שלום לכל מי שהצטרף. ממש עוד מעט מתחילים. נשלח מסר לכל החבר'ה בקבוצה שלנו בוואטסאפ שהצטרפו אלינו. ואנחנו ממש עוד מעט מתחילים. Okay, so just remember this is an English language training. So I'm going to switch to English, speaking in Hebrew so far. We got a few people here already. Thank you for Being early birds, very good. So 3:30, let's get cracking. Let's get cracking. Welcome everyone. My name is Ariel Levin from Soul Marketing. It's 3:30 p.m. Tuesday. I'm Kitov, and welcome to the free LinkedIn Marketing Funnels training. Thank you for signing up. And a few things before we start. I recommend you put your phone on silent, kill all distraction, grab a glass of water, coffee if you need, 3:30, you might be tired. No need to write anything. I will send you a link, both to the presentation with the funnels, and if you need to leave early or anything, there's going to be a YouTube recording that you can access, probably indefinitely. We might limit it, so just know that. That's pretty much it. I think we are about to get started. What I'm going to do is I'm going to start YouTube Live. So we're recorded on YouTube as well. And we'll take it from there. So just going to do the technicalities of YouTube Live for a quick second. Let's make sure it's starting. Now, in the interim, what you can do is take advantage of the chat. I have some colleagues here. I have some competitors here. So say hello in the chat. What are you looking for at the moment? What you need help with? Introduce yourself. Take advantage. It's a great time to take advantage of that and get to know some people. So allow, and we will get started very, very soon. No, okay, that's not good. Let's get started with something else. And we're about to go live. Yep, we're live on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on YouTube. Let's just make sure that it's going okay. So welcome everyone. Thank you so much for joining today. LinkedIn Marketing Funnels training. I've worked really hard on this presentation and it's good. Let's get started. Okay. So today, get ready. What we're going to do today, we talked about getting ready. So take advantage of the chat right now. Introduce yourself to the rest of the people who are here, and we can get started. We have a little bit of an intro. We'll talk about the basics of building the funnels. We'll talk about the 9 funnels plus a couple of other funnel bonuses if we can squeeze it in the hour. There's going to be a Q&A. If you are convinced that you want to work with us, with Soul Marketing, with myself, at the end of those presentations, there's 2 options to do that, whether a consultation or a training course. And we're going to say goodbye after that. Again, I'm going to mention that for the last time. You will get the presentation, or at least the important parts of it, and you will get the video recording. So let's get started. So what problems are we going to solve today? Not enough leads. If you are experiencing not enough leads at this time, please tell me yes or no in the chat, so I know that you're alive and you're listening. Another problem that we're going to solve today is high cost per lead, high cost per acquisition versus low to no marketing budget. So I know that a lot of companies are slashing marketing budget right now. Major mistake to do that right now, because there's great opportunities and the cost per exposure is a lot lower because a lot of companies are advertising less. So great opportunity at the moment. And the other problem we're going to solve is WTF. Who the funk are you? Even sometimes people leave their details, and in our lead generation forms on LinkedIn or other measures, and they don't know who we are. They haven't been exposed to us enough. So we're going to solve that problem with some of the funnels. And last one, buying intent and need. The issue with LinkedIn is a lot of times we don't know if somebody is in the right mindset, in the right time to buy. So we're going to talk, some of the funnels are going to address that. So we cannot really talk about training without talking about Corona. So What's your Corona exit strategy? The world is moving backwards. We're moving back into quarantine in a lot of places. In Israel, they're trying to. So it's not a good time to hard sell, to push hard for the sale, but it is a great time, excellent time for building your community, for building your following, to building your brand. And why this training? Why this training? Because in the current climate, you need B2B tools to generate leads and collaboration for today, for tomorrow, and for all when all this mess is over. So a little bit about us. Soul Marketing was established last year in June after I split from a former B2B LinkedIn agency. We're a B2B digital marketing agency. What we do is we specialize in LinkedIn marketing. So we optimize profile and company page and manage them for many companies in Israel and abroad. We do LinkedIn pay-per-click advertising, we do LinkedIn content marketing, and we do LinkedIn cold email outreach. Myself, yours truly, I was educated in the Oakland University of Technology. I have a graduate diploma in advertising creativity, class of 2005. I'm 44 years old, I'm married +1, I live in Karakur. This is where I'm broadcasting from today. My hobbies are stand-up paddleboarding, total immersion swimming, hiking, international travel, and bread making. All right, so we got a few more people joining us. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Just if you can, let me know in the chat that you can hear me and answer the questions from time to time so I know that you're focused. A little bit about our clients. We deal with different industries. In pharma, we work with Teva API. In the corporate gifts arena, Paperbloom and Friendly Touch. In the media branding PR, H2O Pure Design, it's a branding agency with Funia, which is a digital agency. K2 Global Communication, a PR agency. A lot of people here probably know them. In the software arena, we work with Linovate and Kumzi in Israeli and Bulgarian companies. In consulting, we work with Vilna Consulting. Payments with MoneyNet International, clients in the hardware and telco systems, big hardware company here in Israel, startups, Chimera Labs, very cool startup dealing in synthetic data. I didn't know this thing existed until I had the opportunity to work with them. And in the innovation, property technology, construction technology, we work with Contech. Now, before we get started, and we're really about to get started with the important stuff, I want to lay down a disclaimer. So what I'm about to show you is very, very powerful. The information is presented for educational and entertainment purposes and not as a guide or recommendation. Please, please, please do not abuse these funnels. Results are not typical. Respect LinkedIn terms and conditions and their limitations, okay? Also, before you automate anything, and we're gonna touch a little bit about automation, please consider, has this funnel worked for you manually, okay? Does it work for you? Before you build a whole stack of automations, make sure that it works in a manual process. And what things can go wrong when you automate and how can you avoid them? Because when you automate and you try to touch 100 and 200 people a day, and something is wrong, then you've really embarrassed yourself in front of a lot of people. The basics. So before we begin, I want to draw a line and tell, for the benefit of those who are less familiar with the various tools that will help you operate these funnels on LinkedIn and outside of LinkedIn. So let's talk a little bit about the basics. First of all, my favorite tool of everything, LinkedIn Sales Navigator. If you want to just tell me in the chat, do you have a LinkedIn Premium Sales Navigator account or no? Just answer yes or no in the chat. If you don't know how to operate the chat, just go Alt and I, Alt and the letter, no, Alt and H, Alt and the letter H, and it will pop up the chat for you. So we've got a few responses here. Yes, yes, yes. No, okay, so some power users here. Awesome. So LinkedIn Sales Navigator, it's LinkedIn's premium program that allows us for almost 300 shekels a month to create LinkedIn within LinkedIn. This LinkedIn is a CRM, customer relationship management within LinkedIn that focuses only on our leads and accounts. So it has more search filters, and for each search that I conduct, I see more insights. For example, let's have a look at some of these insights. Who recently changed the job? Okay, here I can see who changed the job. who was mentioned in the news in the past 30 days. These news are usually electronic news and not Ma'ariv, Yediot, Israel Hayom. The printed versions will not show here, but everything electronic is going to show here. And who posted on LinkedIn for over the last 30 days, for example. Okay, so why is that important? In the next slide, we're going to show you how we combine this data to target the people who are active on LinkedIn. It's a crazy tool, isn't it? Also, what I can see here is who shares experiences with me. So experiences mean that we either went to the same academic institution or we're members of the same group. Why is membership in the same group important? We're going to touch on that in one of the funnels below. So also, which of the people who came up in the search is already following my company, Soul Marketing? So who is a fan? Who is aware of us? It's important as well. So me and all my clients, we all use Sales Navigator because when you try to communicate with 2,000, 3,000 people every month, there's no other choice, and otherwise LinkedIn is going to limit you. Few more tools. In the funnels, we will also include emails as communications tool. So to find email addresses, there are many tools. Today, I will recommend you one of those. It's called Hunter, hunter.io, if you want to jump online and search for it. And after we find those emails, how do we send 100, 200, 3,000 emails a day? There's a tool called Gmaps. And it's a plugin for Gmail and for G Suite. And it knows how to send personal looking emails, that these kind of emails that look like you wrote and sent directly to the recipient and not something that came out of MailChimp or HubSpot or of Messer. And all of those emails will go in the promotion tab, but these emails are going to go in the main, to the main inbox. Also, in regards to getting information, there are tools that know how to scrape information from LinkedIn. I do not recommend you use them without, first of all, without prior knowledge. First of all, because it's against LinkedIn terms and conditions. Second of all, you can really get your account blocked. So what we want to do is we want to mitigate the risk over to people on Fiverr. So you can find people on Fiverr who can create those lists that we're going to talk about later. And we know how to get information from websites like Crunchbase that we're going to talk about later. So here I ran a search for Crunchbase and I find 17 people who can grab information from Fiverr for me. And anyone here, it's going to save you time and money to use that and mitigate the risk. They're going to risk their accounts and their internet access, and you're going to just get the results that you're after. Last and final tool, LinkedIn Campaign Manager, one of the most accurate advertising systems in the world. And the reason many of you are here today, so many of you have seen our ads and are here today. So we recommend a starting budget for campaigns of about $150 per day, which also gives you a LinkedIn manager, an Israeli guy or girl that sits in Ireland and can help you manage the campaign. So you don't even need to necessarily hire an agency. It's always good to hire an agency. But if you spend this money and above, you get a LinkedIn person, English-speaking LinkedIn person who can help you manage the campaigns. So this is pretty good. With that 150 per day recommendation, you can get leads for a lot of money, but there's other strategies that you can generate leads for people who are here today. Everybody who's here who came through LinkedIn, I paid about $20 per conversion for you to come through LinkedIn, which I'm happy to pay. Right, so let's talk about the funnels. All right, we got a few more people here. All right. So we're going to start with the Facebook groups to LinkedIn funnel. So let's say there's a group on Facebook that is exactly your target audience, and you want to target them on LinkedIn. Why not on Facebook? They already are on Facebook, because on LinkedIn, it is a more legitimate place to start a business conversation. So what can we do with the help of our friends in Fiverr is to create a list of members in a Facebook group. Use that list to match with the profile of those people on LinkedIn. So we find, say, for example, software as a service users or owners group on Facebook, and we want to find the people who are a member of those groups. We want to find them on LinkedIn. So you can reach out to Fiverr. Somebody's going to take that job and create a list of LinkedIn profiles who match those people. And then what we do is we send connection requests to them on LinkedIn. And whoever accepts the request, we send them a soft marketing message. Not soft because it's not converting, but soft, it's just like, it's not a hard sell sort of message. So for example, let's say you have a software product, and but you can also use it for let's say a training program, a course, or many other things. So as a connection request, what I'm going to send is I'm going to say, hey, I noticed your profile and wanted to connect because I see we're both members of Facebook group for users of the X product, okay? And I guess we have common interests in that thing, so let's connect. And then when they connect with me, I say, hey, thanks for connecting. I'm working on a more stable tool that can do X. So I want to avoid building something useless, and I want to find people who can help me by getting feedback. I would love to get your feedback on it. Would you mind giving me some of your time? Can I ask you some questions? Can I send you anything? So what we have here is we have people who are pretty interested. We've already demonstrated in the same group with us, and we have the same common interest. And we come with a, can you help me sort of thing? And a lot of people are going to respond well to that. So when do we use this? When do we use this funnel? When there's an existing group of targeted leads in a Facebook group. It's ideal for SaaS, for example, but can be used for other things. Can you automate it? Yes, definitely. And the tools we use are going to be Fiverr and Facebook. Post-engagement funnel is our next funnel. Does anyone have a clue what the post-engagement funnel is? Just write in the comments. All right. Okay. I see somebody already knows. That's great. Thanks, Ellie. Thanks, Ellie. That was a very cute comment in the chat. You can all read it. Cool. So post-engagement funnel, One of the challenges on LinkedIn is the low approval of connection requests. About 30% on average. I had people here on the Hebrew webinar yesterday that averaged 50, 70, 80, 90%. But they were very, very targeted connection requests that each of them was done manually and tailored. But if we work in big numbers, usually it's around 30%. So how do you overcome this? Well, what you need to do is you need to look for a common denominator. For example, if you and I like or left or leave a comment on a certain post, we're probably also a part of a community that is interested in the subject of the post. And we can connect in LinkedIn, and we want to connect in LinkedIn with people in this community. So what we do is we look for posts that have received several tens, hundreds, or thousands of likes and comments, or we produce such a post. Do you know how to produce a viral post on LinkedIn? Not in the content sense, but in more of the manipulating LinkedIn to show your post to more people. So how we do it is there are LinkedIn groups or WhatsApp groups that are called LinkedIn pods. And it's basically a bunch of LinkedIn users who all like and comment on each other's posts manually or automatically with another tool called Lampon. So what it does, it shows the LinkedIn algorithm that a lot of people are interested and engaged with a post, and then it starts showing it to more and more people, even outside of our network. Okay, so what you can do is you can say, you can create a post talking about a certain problem, inviting people to give their 2 cents on it, and then push it and get as everybody you know to like and comment on that post. And that post is going to gather thousands and even tens of thousands, sometimes hundreds of thousands of views and engagements and people liking and commenting it. Once you have that, you can use our friends in Fiverr again, and you can create a list of everyone who interacted, who engaged with the post. Now we can take all of that list and use it to connect with them, or we can filter out those who are not relevant to us because of their role, their location, and so on. So with those people, we begin communication through a connection request on LinkedIn that mentions the post. And for example, I can say, I saw that you commented on Ariel's post about B2B marketing. I'm also in the B2B marketing field, and I would love to connect with you and share with you a guide that I wrote. Then after we connect, I send that what I promised, the guide, the white paper, whatever, and I start communicating until there's interest from the other side to continue the conversation. With these connection requests, the percentage of approval is between 55 to 80%. So this is a significant improvement on the normal. And also what you get is a level of accuracy. So we have a unique opportunity that shows us who is interested in a particular subject or currently has a particular need. So you can be very, very smart about it. Talk about a real problem, get it pushed, get people to comment on it so they have either a solution or they experience that problem. And then you solve the issue of intent. Who in LinkedIn is in a specific role, but also have a specific problem that they need solved. All right, when we use it, when there's an influencer or an active community that is relevant to you. Any influencer, somebody who pushes, who posts regularly and has a following. So each of their posts gets a few hundreds of likes and comments, so we can leverage that. You can automate it, and you can use Fiverr, and you should write a lead magnet, white paper, should have a blog post, something to send them as a thank you. Omni-channel funnel, it's a very interesting funnel. Omni-channel funnel. So let's see. Okay. So we already know today that we need to generate over 10 contact points with a potential customer in order for them to purchase or at least start to even considering us. But what if instead of doing it vertically, like I mean, one after the other through a planned ad campaign, then a landing page, then an email series and a conversion offer, we do it horizontally and simply find the customers online, wherever it's legitimate, or the leads or the prospects online, wherever it's legitimate to follow them and interact with them. Only then we try to convert them through one of the direct channels. Direct channels are either LinkedIn DMs or direct messages or LinkedIn or emails. And of course, when we interact with those people, customers may convert on their own and ask for a meeting or a demo. So let's review this funnel together. So what we do initially, as in most of the funnel, is we start looking for the leads using LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So LinkedIn Sales Navigator, we can find people based on their zip code or their seniority or their time in the job or their company name, all those things. We create a list and then we start profiling that list. Profiling means asking these questions. Do I have the person's professional email? Can I use Hunter to find it? Does this person has an active Twitter account? Do they regularly post on LinkedIn? Do they have a Medium blog? Medium.com, it's a blog, it's a blogging platform, very popular in the business sense. And what we start doing is we find their emails and we start interacting with them. So what do we do? On Medium, we clap. Clap is like doing a like on Medium, that's their language. On LinkedIn, we like and comment on their post. We can target them with LinkedIn ads if we have the budget. We follow them, so we can click follow. After they start to being aware of us, because they've seen our ads, they've seen that we're interacted with their posts, we send them a connection request. And if they approve, we can start connecting with them and DMing them and start the conversation on LinkedIn. At the same time, we can follow their profile on Twitter. We can like their tweets. We can mention them on Twitter. And naturally, when we feel the time is right, we can really go to email and start conversing with them right now. Anybody here thinks that this funnel could be effective for them? Or does it seem like too much work? Just write in the chat. Thank you. Omnichannel. When do we use it? When we want to create 10 plus touch points fast, okay, and without using a lot of budget and without getting. It's not a permission-based funnel, really. So if you're happy not to go by permission-based, this is something that you can use, okay. And you can automate it, but it's going to be a big headache. Okay, call it Swarm. Okay, Ellie is telling us that it's called Swarm. That's interesting. Yes, you can automate it, and the tools that you're going to use are Hunter, Zapier for automation, LinkedIn Campaign Manager, and Fiverr.com. Naturally, there's other tools, there's other channels that you can use with these. So I haven't covered anything, just the ones that I know and comfortable in using, but there's probably other channels that you can use based on your industry. Right. Nano influencers content funnel. So LinkedIn is very rewarding today for content creators. It rewards content creators. So I'll show you 4 examples following this on how I'm being rewarded. But for you, there's an opportunity to get free exposure worth tens, hundreds, and even millions of dollars. So let me show you 2 slides, and then we talk about this funnel. So let's have a look. So these are all people that says, hey, I've seen your content and I want to connect with you. I want to talk to you. So this is free advertising, publishing things. I'm pushing them via my pods. People see them and then they approach me. So software company, Teva API Digital. This is MoneyNet International. This one used to be a client of ours because of this, because of a post, they messaged me. And also these are our clients right now. So people see the post and they approach you. Amazing, 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 costs you nothing. And the other cool thing is LinkedIn shows you, when you click on the number of views on your post, it shows you where do people come from, okay? What companies they come from, what titles do they hold, where do they come from? So you can start to understand, is your content being viewed by the right people? How to manage this? So first of all, we need to find relevant team members. So what we do is we upgrade their profile to show them and the company well. Naturally, we write their summary well, we put a banner there, a cover image, and then we build a large but focused network of content. So we aim for about 2,200 connection requests a month. You will need Sales Navigator for that. So this would build their network by at least about 700 people every month. And then we create content for them. Okay, I use 3 people here. You can use just 2. You can use 1. You can have 5 before it gets too tricky to manage. It really depends on this. It really depends on how many people you have and how many niches you want to target. Because each of those is going to focus on a different niche. So Joe, for example, can focus on software development in general. Jane can be the mobile application development expert, and Jill can cover artificial intelligence and machine learning, for example. Great question. Chaim says, are these profiles real people? Yes, these profiles are real people from within your team. You need to have real people within your team doing this, okay? Because they're gonna, reverse it. Do you ever think twice about clicking something on LinkedIn in order to avoid being seen? Keep that question, Ellie. We're gonna cover that later on, okay? So we build a network, we create niche-specific content for each of them. We schedule the publishing, so we don't forget. You can use tools that some of you may know, like Hootsuite and Buffer App. There's many other tools that can post information when you want it. And you can also generate pod engagement. So if you either have a big enough company, or you can create a pod yourself of everybody, friends and colleagues that can engage with the post. Slowly but surely, you're gonna start building more and more exposure. And what you'll find is as long as you post regularly, LinkedIn is going to give you a high benchmark of views. So for example, if I don't post regularly and I post something, say, once a couple of weeks, so I'll only get from LinkedIn without generating engagement 300, 500 views. But if I post regularly, my views are going to start from 500 because LinkedIn says this guy is investing, this guy gets some engagement. I'll show it directly to more people. And after a while, you should start getting inbound inquiries. So you create content. Every fourth post you can have with a call to action, contact us, visit our website, these type of things, but not more than that. And eventually you will get inbound inquiries. Let's see how we're doing for time. So we talked about this. So if you have a willing team members, and long-term view for lead generation, this is not going to generate leads quickly. And you have an aversion for hard sales. So you're happy to educate, get people to know you, and then try to convert them. You can automate it partially with tools like Hootsuite, but content you really want to create manually. And you will want to use LinkedIn Sales Navigator and Hootsuite for that. Okay, let's have a quick look at the question and see that that everything is clear. We're halfway through, and we're halfway through our presentation, so we're doing good. So if you have any questions till now, let me try and answer them and put them in now. So Ellie is asking, this giving the prospect the feeling that we're hanging out in the same places, it's natural to connect with me. Exactly, that's right. Do you ever think twice about clicking something on LinkedIn in order to avoid being seen? If this is a personal question to me, no, I don't mind. I mean, sometimes I do think twice, but I know that, I mean, for me, I'm just clicking things and I wanna be seen, and I don't mind being seen. Yeah. The time period, posting every 2 weeks in exact in order to have a real effect. No, I don't post every 2 weeks. I try to post every day or at least every second day. Sometimes I'm not as successful, but posting 1 month per 1 month is okay, you know, but the more you post, the more you're become a contributor to LinkedIn, and therefore you get more opportunities. So test with it, play with it. And there's many ways to post. It doesn't have to be hard. You can repost other people's things. You can take screenshots. There's tons of ways to post, to create a regular posting schedule, but that's subject to a different training. Right, so 32 of 57 slides done. Let's talk about the awareness to conversion funnel. So one of the challenges in sponsored advertising on LinkedIn is the high cost of leads. So as I said, I paid about $20 for anyone who signed up via LinkedIn, and I'm happy to pay for it. But my clients, they pay $50, $100, $300 per lead, and they can pay it because the value of their transaction is high enough. So what we're trying to do here in this funnel is to use an awareness, consideration, and conversion funnel. But instead of doing this journey in a mailing system like ActiveTrail or, I don't know, Rav Messer, I do it on LinkedIn. And what we do is we start with awareness. So in order for a user to become a potential customer, they must be aware of our brand and our company. And moreover, they must be aware that about the solutions that we offer. And these are the solutions that are gonna help them and their points. So in this stage, what I do is I run ads for this audience. And then in the consideration stage, at this point, our prospects have become our LinkedIn connections. And now what we need to do is to make an effort to convince them through marketing messages and relevant content that they should choose us and purchase from us and pay for our products. So in this stage, I target and connect with my target audience. Those are active on LinkedIn, and start communicating with them and giving them value. So the target audience should be more open to communicating with me because they are aware of the brand through the ads that they've seen in the previous stage. And then finally, we go to conversion. So this is the stage where prospects decides whether your product meets their needs or not. And it's also a stage where you know if your marketing messages you've worked on really worked or they need to be improved. So in this stage, I'm trying to make an appointment or a demo. Let's look at this a little bit in more detail. Uh, so initially, when I start this, I define my audience using LinkedIn filters. The LinkedIn Sales Navigator and LinkedIn Advertising, the Campaign Manager, have very similar filters. So I define that audience, and then I start building the awareness through LinkedIn brand awareness ads. So this can be just showing banners of us, showing videos, presenting our teams, all those things that are not salesy, but just, hey, this is who we are, and this is the solution that we can offer. Now, the next stage is connecting. So we connect with active prospects. How do we know who is active? Usually, people who either changed job in the last 90 days or posted on LinkedIn in the last 30 days. There are a lot of people who are lurkers, so they're in LinkedIn all the time, but they don't like, they don't comment, they don't post anything. So we're going to miss some of those, but initially we are trying to target the people who are active on LinkedIn. And what we do is then we move them to the consideration stage. And so we send them a connection request. We DM them with a valuable report, anything of value that we can give them. And after a little while, there's a relationship there. We see that we can add value to them. We try to schedule a meeting, a demo, or what have you. At this stage, we can also add them to the HubSpot, to the CRM. We can book a Zoom call. So this is how we convert them. It takes anything from 4 to 8 weeks to start seeing some real results from that, but it's very effective ones. Okay, that's interesting, Aaron. Thanks for that comment. Okay. Rebecca, I'll answer that a little bit later. So when do we use this? Funnel when targeting lucrative high-value prospects combined with at least 5,000 a month in dollars or euro in ad spends. You can automate this partially, and you will be using LinkedIn Campaign Manager and Calendly. Calendly, for those who don't know, it's a tool that connects to your calendar and just allows people to book a time in your calendar without back and forth with emails, etc., or phone calls. Now let's talk about the notorious connect and pitch funnel. It's really the most infamous funnel on LinkedIn because everybody does it, and especially robots. So a few things. There's a way to do it right, and it still works. I mean, over in the last month, I had worked with 2 clients who each received dozens of leads as a result of this funnel. So now I want to go through how it works and what you should do or shouldn't do. Does that make sense to you? Do you want to see that, or does it's already pretty self-explanatory? So what we do is we start, as always, with the LinkedIn Sales Navigator search. We find the list of targets that we're interested in targeting. We send them a connection request, and then after they approve us, we send them a direct message with our offer. So the bad things to do is immediately ask for a purchase, or sending a generic pitch, or ask them to schedule a demo. They don't know us. Why would they want to give us their time, to pay us with their time? Asking for a purchase and asking for a demo straight off the bat, it's either they pay us with money or they pay us with their time. It doesn't work. Or if we want to send them to a landing page immediately to visit our website, why would they do it? They came to LinkedIn to pass some time to advance their career and not going to do anything like that. The good things you can do is just ask them, how can I add you value? How can I add value to you? We can write something that's about them, look at their profile, see how we can help them. And we can invite them to an event. I'm not sure if anybody here received my LinkedIn, if anybody here is a first connection of mine on LinkedIn, but I did message many of my LinkedIn connections about, I think we did 100, 150 people a day. My ZA messaged you and asked. So I didn't send a link to join, I said, would you be interested in one of my training sessions? Okay. I didn't assume that. I said, are you interested? If you're not interested, please let me know. And a lot of people said, I'm not interested. Now I know that I'm not going to message them ever again. Some people are even removed. That's great because I'm getting a smaller list but a targeted list. The good thing about inviting to your event also builds your credibility, shows that you are a person that people come to see, come to watch, come to hear. And you can also follow up with the recording, with the presentation, with a small best moments reel. So there's a lot of cool things that you can do with these type of things, with this funnel. So when you have a great offer, people respond to well, and when you want to test the market, see how well people respond, you can use this. So you can automate it. Unfortunately, you can automate it because this is the reason that we get lots of spam on LinkedIn. And the tools you want to use is LinkedIn Sales Navigator. So some people here are because of this funnel, but the difference is it took me months to years to pitch them. So a lot of people here I connected with never pitched or pitched years ago. Now I waited and I said, my pitch is come to my training on LinkedIn if you're interested. So it's fine to build that audience. They've seen my content, and when my message pops up in their inbox, they have some recollection of me. And then from here, maybe I'll be able to convert them. So this is how I use this connect and pitch funnel. Now, what we can do to even better this is to connect the connect and pitch funnel together with the influencer funnel. And what we do is we essentially connect with people, just like in here. We connect with them, we present content to them, we start engaging with them naturally, not with a sales pitch. We build a relationship with them, and when we sense when it's the right time, usually it's around a couple of months before we try to book a friendly call, not a demo call, nothing like that. It's, hey, you know, we've been chatting you for a little while. Why don't we jump on Zoom? Why don't we jump on WhatsApp? Let's have a call there. So this is high value when we have high value clients, and also clients. When my clients have high value clients and they are happy to wait 8-9 weeks before we start generating leads, then we assign an account manager for each of those profiles and we start engaging with people. Not a lot of people, but quality. LinkedIn cold email funnel, it's a pretty cool funnel. So as you may or may not know, there's millions of zombie profiles on LinkedIn. Did you ever invited somebody to connect and never got a response? Send somebody a message but never got a response? If you can let me know in the chat. So if you have, yes. So if you have, you'll know that there's people who open their profile but never use it, okay? Other people simply do not approve connection requests. Some people do not read messages on LinkedIn. Some industries are not active on LinkedIn. So in that case, what you do, you must have a proven tool, proven strategy, proven tactic that will close the hole in your funnel. And this tool is email. Statistically, email can double and triple the results of any outreach campaign. So how does it work? Can you guess where it starts? It starts with the LinkedIn Sales Navigator search, but you can do it with a simple search as well. What you do is you send a connection request. If they approve your connection request on LinkedIn, you send them a DM. If they reply, you can engage with them with any of the funnels and convert. And if they reply, naturally you add them to HubSpot. And if they do not reply, or if they do not approve our request, then we locate their professional email address, not their walla.co.il, not their Gmail, not their Outlook, not their other Hotmail. We professional email address at companyname.com, and then we send them an email. If they reply, naturally we will convert and engage with them. And if they didn't reply, we tag them as unresponsive and remove them for the sequence. I see that I have some questions. I'm sure that you're asking either about the GDPR or the California Privacy Protection Act. Yes, these exist, and this is why we don't use this funnel in Europe or in California. Let's see if I was right to guess. See if I was right to guess. Right. Ellie, I'm sending notes with connection requests. Yes, I am. But sometimes it's good, sometimes bad. I don't know. I mean, the jury's still out on this. Now, you might have said, sending generic emails to everyone. You can do very cool things today with email. You can personalize images pretty accurately. So what we did here is for Friendly Touch. Friendly Touch is a company that sells styluses, 3 kinds of styluses, because nobody wants to touch screens today. Self-service kiosks. Who want to touch these? ATMs. Who want to touch these? You know, I don't want to even sign the electronic checkout in Schupensaal when I'm, you know, doing my own checkout. So they have this product, and what we're showing here to the folks at CVS is how pretty much their branded styluses are going to look. So we're showing them that there's going to be your logo is going to come here, or you can have your company name here. So we can do pretty cool things. This is just a really tip of the iceberg of what we can do in personalization. We can even put the person's name, the person's face in an email. Not everybody likes it, but know that we can do that. So we use this when the majority of our audience is either not active on LinkedIn or overly pitched. So they get too many messages on LinkedIn. They're tired of it. You need to squeeze in another way. You can automate it. Usually we automate it. And the tools you're going to use is LinkedIn Sales Navigator, hunter.io to find the email, and gmas.com to send those emails out. Crunchbase funnel. This is very cool. This is something that I started using recently. Anybody is aware of the website Crunchbase? Do you guys know what it is? Have you ever visited Crunchbase? Okay. Yes. Cool. So Crunchbase is a website that tracks startups and startup founders and angels who invest in startups and all those type of things. But why is it important to us? Because we can find startups who just got funded. So if they got funded, what do they need? Do they need public relations? Do they need software development? Do they need an office? Do they need HR services because they want to recruit more people? So all those things are things that we can, are telltale signs that we can find those, this data on Crunchbase. We run a search on Crunchbase. Crunchbase shows us by industry, by funding, by how much they funded, all those type of things. We can be very, very accurate and find all those companies that match our search. We export that list. If you have a paid account, like I have access to, then I can export that list. I can export 1,000 names at each time. Then what I do is I adapt it to a LinkedIn search. So what I get is a list of names. I can either enter each company name into LinkedIn search, or I can use something that we've developed here, which is a basic Excel that creates a sales navigator Boolean search string. It's a mouthful. What it does, it creates a big search that you can copy and paste with all the company names, and you can add other filters later, and it saves us hours and hours of work. Now, once I have that, I can connect with them and use with any of these LinkedIn funnels. I can use the Omni channel, I can use Connect and Pitch, I can use the awareness to conversion, LinkedIn to email, all those type of things I can use with that. But what I have is a very accurate list of companies, of founders. Yes. Okay, thanks, Ellie. I will send you the next one, so you can help me with proofreading. Crunchbase funnel. So you want to get startups, target startups in certain stages of growth. You can automate it. You will use crunchbase.com, LinkedIn Sales Navigator, Soul Marketing's Boolean search generator. If you want it, email me. I will send it to you. Okay, so now similar to the TechCrunch funnel, and we only have about 10 more minutes, so I hope you're patient. Yeah, everybody's still here. What we usually, when do we use this? So what we have is, we use this in two situations. Last month, I had my client gave me a list of 2,500 names, company names, and I needed to target them, find their emails and start emailing them. Or some of my companies are looking for other companies who use different technologies. So to find different technologies, like do they use a LinkedIn Insight tag or a Facebook pixel? That means that they probably advertise on LinkedIn or on Facebook. Google Tag Manager, they mean that they advertise on Google. So you can use builtwith.com. It shows you companies that use specific technologies on their website. Maybe they use Shopify or another shopping cart. And we can use those lists, we export those lists, and again, we can adapt with the LinkedIn search, adapt to the LinkedIn Sales Navigator search with the tool that I told you before. And again, you can use with the same funnels. So if you want to target companies using specific technologies or companies who attend a specific, for example, expos or conferences. Cheap and cheerful LinkedIn groups funnel. Remember I showed you in one of the first slides about people who share experiences with you in LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Just let me know if you remember that slide, otherwise I'll go back to it. So LinkedIn Sales Navigator shows you which people share experiences with you, which people are in the same group like you. And sometimes, although LinkedIn groups are pretty dead, they do give us signals of who's interested in a specific topic, specific industry, specific technology. So how do we use that? LinkedIn allows us to message everybody who is in the same group with us. So even if there are second connections or third connections, even if they're outside our network, we can still message them. So what we do is we search LinkedIn for niche groups or industry groups. This is how we start. So we can just put a keyword there, B2B marketing, SaaS software, medical devices. We find those people, we join the LinkedIn groups, and then we DM all the members with something of value. And we say, hey, I've noticed that you're a member of group X, and I'm a member of group X, and I've made this thing that I think can help you, and here you go, here's access to it, free access. Don't even need to leave your email. Let's start to communicate. And from there, you can build a relationship. It's cheap and cheerful, so you have when to use it, you have no budget, but big audience. So your audience is organized in niche groups. This is when you use it. You can probably automate it. I don't know how, but there's probably people who can do it. And you probably want to use something of value to give them, whether it's a lead magnet or a white paper. This is an interesting one. Okay, so yeah, this is an interesting one. Anybody here getting pitched to go work for another company, or at least used to get before Corona started? What we try to do with some of our companies, okay, I've got a chat message here. So what we're trying to do is sometimes we try to find companies who are looking to hire people. And one of the ways to do it is to look at the LinkedIn job platform. But not all the companies are advertising on LinkedIn jobs. Some of them are just using headhunting techniques to communicate with potential candidates via the LinkedIn connection requests and messages. So if you want to find those companies, for example, I work with software companies, so I want to find companies who are trying to recruit people and say, hey, why recruit and spend tons of money? Why don't you outsource it to us? How do you find those companies? We use this honeypot technique. So first of all, we optimize a team member's profile to attract recruiters. We put all the right keywords there. We receive incoming job offers, and then we add the recruiting company to our target list, and then we can combine it with any of the funnels to generate leads. So connect and pitch, omni-channel, LinkedIn to email, all those things can work pretty well. Personally, I would go with LinkedIn to email. That's probably the quickest way to do that. So when to use, you only want to target companies who are showing their business intent by growing their team, and you can probably partially automate it. No tools to use, maybe just Sales Navigator. So I guess you're pretty much by now feeling like this. Lots of information, a lot of things to cram in, probably at least 11 funnels that we discussed. So I'm going to talk to you in a moment about how we can work together. But before that, let's move to questions and answers. So, do you have any questions? Okay, let's see this question here. If you have any questions, guys, this is the right time. When we finish this presentation, my hourly rate is going up. Now you get it free. But if you have any questions, this is the right time. If there's a question that you've asked before and you want to copy and paste it so that I can see it now, it's going to be really, really helpful. And try to make it as detailed as possible. All right, anybody's typing? No questions. Okay, I'll be looking at the question arena. Okay, Rebecca. What is the target number for filter audiences for an initial ad that makes sense to start with? Is there such a thing, too small or too big? So if you talk with LinkedIn, they're going to say you need to have 200,000 to 300,000 people for our campaign ad system to work properly. In effect, you can start with 20,000 to 80,000 people. Sometimes it's not going to be super targeted in some cases, but say if you only have 80,000 people, you can start targeting, say 20,000 people, you can start targeting different seniorities in the same companies. So just think about it as just getting everybody in that company or in that industry to see your ads. Too big, I don't know. I mean, it really depends on your budget. If you have enough budget, there's no such thing as too big. But too small, under 300 people, LinkedIn are not going to show any ads because it's against their privacy rules. More questions? No problem. Right, so how can we work together? There's two options to work. You can either book a consultation and then we can decide whether we want to work together. Just some people who worked with me in the past. Fortunately, these are all Hebrew. Most of them are Hebrew recommendations. So, and the other, so you can book a consultation. I'll give you all the details in the follow-up email and now. And also, what I'm doing in August is I'm opening a masterclass. So, 4 Tuesdays on August between 10 and 2 p.m. We are going to meet online and we're going to tackle all those funnels plus a lot of more advanced tools that we're using. So very, very advanced tools. All the tools that I'm using very much in depth. And at the end, you will have at least 2 or 3 funnels that are operating, working, managed, and you're going to have a whole pipeline of work for the next at least 6 to 12 months. So very, very effective sort of process. I'm going to show you the processes that we're using within the agency, and you can use them yourself. You cannot register online because naturally there's a lot of companies, a lot of competitors that want to come and learn from us. So we only open this to other organizations, companies, businesses, marketing managers, etc. So I'll give you the details. You can inquire and then you can join us. So 4 Wednesdays, you get everything. Usually the minimal return on investment is going to be 10x over a year, usually a lot more, really depends on your clients. So if you want to sign up for that, you can either go to this link and book a call with my virtual assistant, Jamaica, or you can email her, j@ariellevin.com, and she'll give you a call and give you all the details. Right. And if you have any more questions, please let me know now. And otherwise, it's 4:30 and our time is up. Thank you so much for cleaning up your afternoon. I know it's a tough hour. I hope you enjoyed. Please, if you've enjoyed, connect with me on LinkedIn. Leave a comment on one of my posts. I'll send you everything in the following emails, and I look forward to working with you. Thank you, Aaron. Thank you for joining from the UK. I'm really impressed by making the time. Thank you so much, and I hope you use that. Thanks, guys. I'm cutting off right now.